So what events have you done in the past?
Well, we started with being involved with other festivals. Carnival of Monsters, which was held in Beeston in Nottingham. And we did a residency project, and it was a live residency where an artist and a writer made artwork in the space live for 2 weeks. And we've had I've been a resident in the Crocus Gallery as well as an artist myself, and we had a commission at the New Art Exchange as well. But then when Joe joined us, we were finishing off some other projects, so we did a couple of exhibitions.
So we're wrapping up a few other projects. We did one at the Crocus Gallery called It's All Happening Outside the Frame. Then we kind of did one which tied in with the World Event Young Artist that was happening in Nottingham in September 2012, which we called End of the World exhibition, and that was in the hall space of Alice's flat building. And then we followed that up with a music event which was in the same space using kind of the doorway as a frame, so it kind of linked both the first exhibition with the frame.
It was so fantastic because we told the artists it was going to be in this really small space, and we couldn't have predicted that they were going to think about the lighting.
Yeah,
it was really incredible. So it was about the apocalypse, and it was the end of the world. And the first performer had the lights all on. The second one was like half lit, and the next one was spotlighted, and then it ended with this red light for the end of the world. It was just
cool.
We couldn't have predicted
it was fab.
that.
The artists put so much energy into it, and the equipment they brought as well was incredible. And it was because we were all outside of the doorway just with a kind of tarpaulin across us, and it was cold and raining. And we had wine, so it was okay. But everyone was just grouped together, just trying to get in and see these doorways. Just prior to that, we did a publication. Was it just after that? No, just after that, wasn't it? We did a publication launch to kind of finish off last year, which was called Here and Then, which is still available. Should we move on?
Is that kind of a roundup of what you've done then?
That was relating to the residency project.
Right. Yeah. So we kind of ended 2012 where it had all began. Actually, it was a nice roundup.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And do you mainly do projects kind of like based on what you want, or are there certain things that you take from other people that you think, oh yeah, I'll incorporate that into work?
I think allow ourselves to be inspired by other people, but we do try and make sure that the projects that we're working on are feature a lot of our own interests, and we're passionate about it, and so that we're enthusiastic and infused. And it's important, I think, from their official name that us as artists have so there's a sense of what we're doing and what we're interested in, that we're supporting our own interests.
I think that's a good way to come across as being sincere.
Yeah.
We want everyone to feel welcomed in what we do and feel included, and if we're sincere about what we're doing, then they don't feel like they're being conned into being involved.
Yeah. Your audience can tell if it's genuine and if you're really passionate about something as well.
I think it's a lot easier if you are just genuinely passionate about it, rather than trying to manufacture some enthusiasm, because you're only going to have a certain amount of will to do that, so you may as well just go put everything into it.
I think it keeps us interested in the group as well, and because it's so easy to kind of stagnate in a role, and it's easy to stagnate when you get stuck in a rut, so it just keeps everything fresh.
Yeah.
I think that's why we've struggled with naming who we are. We're always reviewing the words that we use in texts about ourselves, because even though we're called creative project facilitators, I can't even say it, even though we're called that, that's just so that we've got a business name that we can start from.
Many of us spend time with that. We don't struggled in kind of really defining. We know what we do, but it's how we pin it down, because we don't want to be.
I guess as soon as you define yourself, you're in that box, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and we kind of want to work with people who are not just in the arts. We want to to have a bigger audience than that, and
Yeah.
we want to reach different people, because the art world can be really small and a lot smaller than it thinks that it is.
Yeah.
And we want to break out of that and work with lots of
Yeah.
people and be really open.
I think that's why we've done towards the end of last year, did somewhat a wider range of events. So like at the musical event we did have artists, we had musicians and performance artists, and we'd we'd like to expand that, so working with people from all different spheres, all different kind of.
Because it's not just about working with artists, it's about working with cameramen and interviewers and people at magazines and photographers. We have a lot of volunteers that work with us as well. It's not just us three, we work with a huge range of people all the time, and it's not just about the artists, it's about everybody's creative involvement as well.
Development as well, that's a big word, isn't it?
Yeah.
For us. Like, it's nice that you can kind of chart your progress and think, yeah, I've come a long way and I've got that to look back on.
So how do you get your inspiration behind your work, and like what pushes you to do certain exhibitions or certain projects?
Well, we decided, even though we did exhibitions in 2012, that this year that we weren't going to carry on doing exhibitions in the traditional sense, because being a small organisation, you don't get the footfall that bigger places do, and we didn't really see who was benefiting from the exhibitions, because people put up their work, but if people don't see it, then we don't know why. What the point is, don't we say that? But, well, it's
Who's kind of lost them?
It becomes almost just like kind of mortifying the work in some way, like it's up on the wall and then what does it do after that? Like it kind of stops having a life once it's on the wall and it has like an end game. So I personally feel like events and putting on events, having artwork at events and publications, they have a sense of something else, a sense of something more alive about them and people interacting with it, and you just don't get that if something's on a wall, you look at it and walk past it, and that's just my passion. But
I think there can be a lot held up in the ceremony of it, like exhibition as well. So if you're doing it in a different medium, like there's going to be different ways to engage with everything as well, isn't there? So
It's actually down again to like your flexibility.
I suppose, yeah, you just need to. I think just the way that everyone's on Twitter and stuff now, that shows that the world's changing. You've got to move with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So